This stream is sponsored by Manscaped. Hey you. Yes, you. Have you lost all your confidence when shaving below the waist? Would you like a sleek, well-designed trimmer so you can shave with ease? Well, look no further. Let's talk Manscaped. Let's Talk Sport have teamed up with Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, to give you an exclusive offer of 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code Let's Talk Sport. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also gives you the ability to turn on the 4000K LED spotlight when needed for a more precise shave. Visit manscaped.com and use the code Let's Talk Sport for 20% off plus free shipping for a helping hand. Job done. This product has been tried and tested by Cara and the LTS team. We thoroughly recommend for the best smooth shaving experience below the waist. Visit manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping by using the code Let's Talk Sport. Manscaped, your balls will thank you.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live race watch along of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. This is, of course, round 16 of the 2021 MotoGP calendar, and we've got a big race today. Bagnaia will start at the top with the fact that Fabio Quartararo, his championship rival and the championship leader, is 15th ahead of this race. So it's a massive, massive task for our man in the top of the championship. But anyway, we're just getting ready for the race to start. We've currently got all the riders out on a warm-up lap, so we'll be getting ready in about a minute or so for the start of this race. But of course, this is a big day, you could say, for Valentina Rossi, his final home Grand Prix before he retires at the end of the season, as we're racing in Imola today. And there's a hashtag that's come up on the MotoGP feed saying hashtag match points, since Fabio Quartararo will be world champion if he loses less than 3 points to Bagnaia. So, of course, it might not happen today if Fabio Quartararo doesn't have the race that he would normally have. He'd have to obviously overtake a lot of riders in front of him to decrease that gap on Bagnaia. Of course, Bagnaia will hope that he stays down there so that he can get some points to decrease the gap. Bagnaia will take the title to Portugal if he gets 3 points more than Quartararo. So it's very possible that the championship will not be decided today. But let us know in our live chat page, folks, who do you think is going to win the race today? We have put up a poll, and if you do vote on that, we'll keep that poll up until near the end of the race. Let me just adjust my camera a little bit more. Just noticed, if I go a bit that way, there you go, you can see me a bit better. So anyway, we're getting ready for the race start then. Here we go. It's just about to begin here. So, Francesco Bagnaia starting it all off. Remember to get in touch on our live chat page as well, folks. So, the warm-up lap is done. The preparations are over for another race. It's all about what happens in the next 20-odd laps here in Imola. Who will win? Flag is raised behind the riders in front of the safety car. And it's lights out and away we go. And this is a great start by Bagnaia. He's neck and neck with his teammate at the race start as they go towards turn one. I think Bagnaia has been able to take the lead on the first corner. He's up against, of course, his teammate of Jack Miller. Quartararo still hanging around at the back there. As of course, let's not forget, he is starting in 15th. But so far, so good. Marc Marquez up to 4th, it looks like, in his Repsol Honda. And it's quite a nice start from Bagnaia. He's been absolutely brilliant with his race starts when he's been the pole sitter in the last few races. And of course, let's not forget, he's probably the man more in form at the moment between him and Fabio Quartararo. Fabio Quartararo's had quite a poor race start here. He started 15th, but he's down to 17th after the first few turns on this opening lap. So currently on the live championship, Quartararo will be 27 points ahead of Bagnaia if it ends like that. Still, of course, there's 27 laps to go. So there's a lot to do and a lot to happen between now and the checkered flag. But yeah, actually, just as I say that, Quintaro has actually somehow climbed up 2 places since we last checked a few seconds ago. But of course, he's in the pack. He's got plenty of chances to go up a few spots. Let's read some of your comments. We got Tan Dep Try saying hi. Hello there, hope you're well. Says Max in pole in F1. Yes, he is. Max Verstappen. That's the US Grand Prix. That's happening tonight at 8 o'clock UK time, I believe. And I do believe our good friend Jack Price will be doing a watch-along for that here on this channel. So don't forget to subscribe, give us a like, and we'd really appreciate your support towards Let's Talk Sport on YouTube. Heaven Rider Abby says Marquez is the champion for today. Do you reckon he'll win the race? He's currently 3rd. Our leaderboard's a bit behind, actually. Pavi Fran Babu says, thanks for the live status. No problem. Let's Talk Sport is your home for live MotoGP watch-alongs. Currently got Bagnaia 0.4 tenths of a second ahead of his teammate Jack Miller. So the 2 Ducatis at the top at the moment. 26 laps to go. This is a 27-lap race. If you aren't sure who's where on the leaderboard, you've got the leaderboard on your screen here to my right. So do check out that live leaderboard. It'll update itself as much as it can to keep you updated on the race, and I'll keep telling you what's going on during this race. Fabio Quintaro up to 12th. And there seems to be a double long lap penalty for Muir. Apparently he jump-started at the start of the race. And that's the number 36 rider. But a double long lap penalty. So that means he'll have to do the long lap twice. Which, if you're wondering, if you're new to MotoGP, a long lap is basically a certain part of the circuit which is the riders avoid unless they get told to go around a longer route around the lap, just to obviously add more seconds. And after all that, actually, Juan Muir has crashed, and it looks as though I think he's crashed with Binder. It looks as though it's Binder's bike. They've both gone off. Oh no, it's Petrucci who's gone off. That's Binder's teammate. And they both collided on one of the turns. It looks as though it was at turn 2. So because of that, the yellow flag is out for Sector 1 with 25 laps to go. But yeah, it's when watching back, it looks as though there was a mistake there by Petrucci as he was behind Muir when it happened. But I think it looks as though both riders have handshaked and given each other a hug, so I don't think there's any hard feelings between the two. You'd think there might be with collisions like that, but accidents do happen in racing. Meanwhile, Marc Marquez still 3rd behind the 2 Ducatis Bs, right behind them. And Marc Marquez, I'm thinking it looks as though he'll challenge Miller down the straight here. Incredibly excited seeing these 3 go towards turn 1 at the same time. Bagnaia still in front. Espargaro is 1.6 seconds behind the front 3. And Marc Marquez has got fastest lap at 1:32.7. So remember, folks, today could be the day that Fabio Quintaro becomes a world champion in MotoGP. He has to finish no less than 3 points behind Bagnaia. Now, at the moment, Fabio Quintaro is 12th. He started 15th, so it was always going to be a tough race for him today, but who knows? You could say the podium places might be out of reach for him, because let's not forget, this isn't like F1. It's not a long race, it's a very quick, instant race. 45 minutes of racing. We've already had 4 laps, and we've got 24 to go. Looking at the heart rates of Tardossi, who's at 113 beats per minute, while Bagnaia is a lot higher because he's racing at the front with the likes of Miller and Marc Marquez at 130 beats per minute. I quite like the comparison there. But as I say, that Tardossi is a 118 now. He's gone a little bit higher. Oh, one of the riders has gone. And it's Miller. They've just shown the camera in front. Is it Miller? Who is it? It is. It's Jack Miller, and he's absolutely frustrated with himself. I thought it was Miller, but who knows? It could have been the other Ducati of Bagnaia, which would have all of a sudden changed the title completely. And the members of the Ducati garage are absolutely gutted, and so is Miller. He's frustrated because he knows he was trying to protect his teammate against Marc Marquez. He just simply skids off on one of the corners, and I think it was at turn 15, and that's I think that's our third retirement of the day. And that helps. That does help Fabio Quartararo because that gets him up to 11th now, but still outside the points. And it's a yellow flag for what's happened because of Jack Miller. Lap 5 of 27. So the championship standings, they keep changing it and keep showing it on the screen, but they were trying to show it then, but they got rid of it. Maybe because they hadn't updated it since Quintaro's now gone up a place, but either way, that looks like it's Jack Miller's out the race. I've not seen him get himself back on that bike. It was in the gravel trap. Not that it matters, but yeah, not so great for him. In case you're wondering, folks, we do have a sponsor on our stream today. As you can see at the top of your screen, Manscaped. We're offering 20% off on their website, which is manscaped.com. 20% off anything as long as you use our code Let's Talk Sport, which is all in capitals, and that's the code in red on your screen. So do check it out, and yeah, something good, something for Christmas maybe for one of your husbands maybe, or your girlfriend, whatever floats your boat. So Bagnaia is 32 points behind Quartararo, looking at the live leaderboard in terms of the championship. So 22 laps to go. Francesco Bagnaia's mechanics and all that look quite nervous watching on. They keep putting the cameras on them. And they've got the camera on Fabio Quartararo at the moment. But at the same time, Marc Marquez and Bagnaia, we've seen these two at each other on the front row in a few races, especially in the last few races this season. Bagnaia, you could say, in great form at the moment. But Marc Marquez, he's up there again. He won't win the World Championship this year, Marc Marquez, but he might be getting himself ready for the new season to prove that he can still compete at the top, which, to be honest with you, I don't think there was any doubts. He's been an absolute phenomenal rider to follow in the last 8 years. He won his first World Championship on his debut season, if I can remember, in 2013. Quartararo now up to 10th. He's overtaken Zarco. Zarco was up there in the championship early on in the season, but he's nowhere near the top. He's not even in the top 4 of the championship, and they've just got cameras now on Jack Miller as he's back in the cockpit, and his entire back of his race suit has got the gravel marks on him, and they're just showing the replay now on turn 15 of Jack Miller just completely skidding off. No collision with any riders. Maybe he was feeling the pressure of Marc Marquez behind him throughout that whole time. Dino Rodeni, is it Rodeni? Says Quintaro, not Quintania, Quintania, as you say. Oh, I thought I said it right. How do you say it? Quintaro. I've always tried to say Quartararo. He's 10th still. The gap between Marquez's teammate and Marquez himself is 2.5 seconds between second and third. If you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe to the channel. Give us a like. We're here to do all your MotoGP watch-along needs to keep you up to date on every single MotoGP race. We got Ricardo Gordon getting in touch. Hello, Ricardo. Saying, need Fabio to finish in the top 5. It's a hard race, so I will take 5th place today. Yeah, I do think that's quite realistic. He's going up there. He's gone up 5 places since the start of the race. 7 laps in. So it's possible. The conditions are good today as well. It's not a wet race. The sun is out. So I don't think that's going to change between now and the checkered flag. Meanwhile, Bagnaia Marquez still battling it out at the front. Bagnaia has proven in the past that he can beat Marquez to the finish line. We've seen races like that where Marc Marquez has challenged him and has been able to do overtaking moves, but because of the fact that he'd go wide on some of the corners when trying to overtake him, you do see Francesco getting his place back at the front. So, 20 laps to go. 33 points between the top two in the championship of Fabio and Francesco. Ricardo saying, just in Warrington at Expo in my car listening to you, bro. Warrington. I'm not far from Warrington. Well, probably less than an hour away. Have you ever heard of Malpas? That's where I live. The village of Malpas, which is a half an hour drive from Chester. And of course, you'll definitely know Chester. Nice to speak to you, Ricardo. Jose November says, Quantararo fool. Oh my God. Quartararo. It's a hard name to pronounce, I find. Meanwhile, Francesco and Mark actually, they've got different tyres. H at the front, M at the back for Bagnaia. Marquez, I've just lost the details there, but it looks as though it's medium and then soft. Of course, it's different to F1. They have different tyres in a MotoGP race, and of course, you rarely see pit stops happen in MotoGP, so that's normally the tyres that they go with for the whole race. Well, 19 laps to go. Of course, you wouldn't expect any pits today in these conditions. Ricardo Garden says, yeah, I do, mate. I live in Manchester, but work in Warrington. I'm actually off to Manchester straight after this race to watch, off to Old Trafford to watch Man United versus Liverpool. We'll see how it goes for United, but it won't be an easy match for us, as we're the underdogs, as you'd expect. But yes, do keep an eye on the leaderboard, folks. The leaderboard is there on your screen. The lap count is on your top left corner of your screen as well. Jose November says, respect, brother. Thanks for doing this regardless. No problem. Of course, folks, to keep this channel going and to keep doing these watch-alongs, we really need your support. So do give us a like of this stream and click that subscribe button to follow us for more of our watch-alongs. We do all sorts of sports. We do F1. That should be on tonight with Jack Price at 8 o'clock for the US Grand Prix, MotoGP, football, cricket for next weekend for the Cricket T20 World Cup. So do join us for that. Meanwhile, we're on lap 10 in this race. And there's a Sector 4 yellow flag. I must have missed that unless they haven't shown it yet, but I'd imagine there's been an incident. But it's great to see a lot of fans here in the stands in Imola, because Imola hosted a couple of F1 races during lockdown. And sadly, of course, even though it's a great race venue, there was no fans that could go and see it because of the COVID-19 restrictions. But it's great to see that that they're having to get fans in for this special race. 3 seconds, the gap between second and third of Marc Marquez and Espargaro. You do feel like the top two's already decided, but it depends on what order that top two will be. Fabio is now up to 9th. He's been able to overtake Alex Marquez. I think that was Alex Marquez he overtook. Yeah, Alex Marquez. No! Not Alex Marquez, what am I saying? It is Alex Marquez. Is it? I should know this. Ricardo Gordon says, Liverpool fan as well, lol. I'm 5 minutes from United ground. Alright. Yeah, I'll be heading there just after 2 o'clock. And it's 34-point gap now between Bagnaia and Quintaro in the championship because of Fabio going up to 9th. But yes, I completely agree with you, Ricardo. I do think 5th place is realistic today. Sector 1, yellow flag. Oh, it's Alex Marquez, as I just mentioned him. He has gone off. And it looks as though he will take the DNF, another DNF. We've had a few of those already. That's 4 DNFs, I think, now for this race. Oh, and Lucuno has gone off as well. Iker Lucuno. He crashed at turn 1, as they're showing footage of him just walking away. So, a bit of a crap day for Binder and Lucuno. KTM having a double retirement. So, a race day to forget for them, for the team in orange. But they just got the cameras back on Francesco and Marc Marquez. The gap just stays the same at the moment. Marc Marquez just binding his time, you could say. But them two are just so quick. They're getting further and further away from the rest of the pack. Espargaro is now 3.2 seconds behind his teammate in 3rd. They come down the straight now and on lap 12 of 27. So 16 laps to go. A lot can happen in such a short time on these MotoGP races. In case you're wondering, for Valentino Rossi, this is his final home race before he retires at the end of the season, which of course the season wraps up in mid-November. So there's 2 more races to go on the calendar after this one. And there's so many fans, all of them in that one dedicated stand towards Valentino Rossi, are wearing Valentino Rossi hats, all of them without fail. It looks like a mafia hat, an Italian hat maybe, an old-fashioned kind of hat, but it's in the colours of Rossi, you know, that fluorescent kind of colour, his yellow fluorescent kind of colours that, of course, you could say are part of Valentino Rossi's brand that we've seen over the years. No doubt probably the biggest rider in MotoGP history. Marc Marquez, he's right on his tail. It's fantastic to watch. They come down the straight again now. Now lap 13. 15 laps to go. Come on, folks, let us know on our live chat page who's going to win, Bagnaia or Marquez. We've got our poll up as well. If you haven't voted on that, then do so. We've currently got Marc Marquez, the favourite from you viewers at home. 46% he's on, Bagnaia 30%, and Fabio's on 21%. In terms of another category, in terms of just other rider, it is only at 2%. Tito KNL says Marc Marquez 93. Oh, and Augie Martin's gone off on turn 1. That's another incident on turn 1. Sector 1 then with a yellow flag. I've not seen the collision or the crash because they've just jumped straight to him while he was on the ground with his bike away from him. But we've seen a lot of DNFs now. That's at least 6. I'd say that's 6 retirements we're seeing now. So, yellow flag for Sector 1. Fabio Quintaro still in 9th, the championship leader. Remember, he has to be 3 points or less behind Francesco to win the championship today. It's an outside chance, but he can still do it. 14 laps to go. .8 seconds. It's decreased the gap between 2nd and 3rd of Marquez and Espargaro. Oliveira's in 4th, which he's doing a great job for Red Bull. The other Espargaro for Aprilia Racing is in 5th. Morbidelli in... Actually, no, he's 5th. No, sorry, Morbidelli's 6th, Espargaro 5th. Rins in 7th. Marini's 8th at the moment, but that leaderboard might change from the feed I'm seeing. Andy Ward says, sort position board out, keeps going blurred. When you say blurred, as in, is it not readable, or let me know? Not sure what you mean by that, Andy. I'm literally just window capturing it from a website, so apologies if it's not working, but in front of me it looks like it's fine. It just updates itself so that I don't have to update it for you. I'd like to know your score prediction today, Ricardo Gordon, if you're still watching. I take it you're going for a Liverpool win. I have a feeling it's going to be a draw today, but we'll see. So, Fabio behind Moreni at the moment. Moreni's actually gone up a place to 7th. He's taken over Morbidelli. And it looks as though Binder's going to get a long lap penalty for exceeding track limits. So yeah, Binder's still out there. He's currently in 12th place. But yeah, get in touch, folks, on the live chat page. Will Quintaro win his World Championship today, or will he have to wait until the next race in a couple of weeks' time? Or is it? No, I think it's next week, isn't it, the next race? Let me just double check that. Let's have a look. So yeah, the next race is the Algarve Grand Prix. Oh yeah, it's in 2 weeks' time. So 7th of November, the Algarve International Circuit. That's another 1 o'clock in the afternoon race. And then, of course, the final race, which is normally in Valencia, is going to be in Valencia at the circuit of Ricardo Tormo. That's at 1 o'clock as well on Sunday the 14th of November. So do join us for those race watch-alongs as well as we get ready for the conclusion of the 2021 MotoGP season. We're currently on lap 6 of 27 in this Imola race. 12 laps to go. Francesco Bagnaia has been at the front from the get-go in this race, and he's trying to keep Marc Marquez away from him, while Espargaro is completing the top 3 of the podium in 3rd for Repsol Honda, but he's 3.8 seconds behind the top 2, so you do feel like, as I said, the top 2 is probably done and dusted unless one of them makes a mistake or has an accident, but they should be able to bring the bikes home. But at the moment, Fabio Quintaro has gone up 2 places from 9th to 7th, which, of course, increases the gap even more now on Francesco in the championship table. He's now 36 points on the live championship board. They're just showing a replay here of Jorge Martin going down the straight. I think this is his incident when he went off. Yep, he skidded when he was approaching turn 1 and he went into the gravel. He's not hurt though, he's absolutely fine. Luckily there's been no one hurt so far in this race. Kevin Locke asking me, what is the time difference? Do you mean the time difference between where they're racing and where I am right now? I believe they're an hour ahead. We've got a few messages that have come in. Ricardo Gordon has said, I think it will be 2 for Liverpool and United to score 1. So 2-1 Liverpool win he's going for there. Hope you're wrong, Ricardo. I hope you're wrong. Andy Ward says, it's okay, mate. Now I like listening to you. Cheers. Oh, thanks, Andy. Appreciate that. Oh, fastest lap for Francesco Bagnaia, a 1:32.1. And that is the best race lap so far for today's race. Can Marc Marquez or someone else match that or do better to get that fastest lap at the end? Diego Santos says Miguel Oliveira. He is currently in 4th place in this race for Red Bull KTM. Of course, 2 of the tech-free KTM bikes of their riders of Petrucci and Nukono have gone out of this race. So a bad day for their sister team. Diesel asks, what's with all the DNFs? They're all simple incidents, like their own racing incident by themselves. They're all accidents by their own riders. It's terrible. But I can't remember who it was now. I think it was Petrucci and Muir that both collided together when exiting a corner and then went into the gravel trap, both of them. But they were both okay because they left their bikes and then hugged each other. So there was no bad blood between them, which was good to see. Ricardo Gordon says, and I told 2 of my friends in London about your channel too. They are watching along now. Oh, thanks, Ricardo. Remember, folks, it's your support that keeps our channel going, and to keep doing these race watch-alongs, not just MotoGP, but we also do football, rugby, tennis, snooker, F1, you name it. And our next watch-along should be tonight at 8 o'clock for the F1 US Grand Prix with our good man, Jack Price. So he'll keep you up to date on that. Rattle says, Fabio was lightning fast in Algarve before his arm problem, so no worries. Yeah, I can't remember that race, to be honest. I don't think I watched it last season. He's up to 6. So who knows? We're on lap 19. Is there enough laps for him to... I mean, can he go up 3 more places at least? Because as I said, the top 2 now are pretty much 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the pack. And that's only 9 laps to go. So I think the top 2 is out of Fabio's target right now. I don't think that's realistic for him if he's going to go any further on the leaderboard. He's right now behind Alex Espargaro in 5th. So the Live Championship leaderboard now means that there's 37 points between Quintaro and Bagnaia. Which, either way, it's either going to be today or in Algarve, you feel, for Fabio to win this World Championship. As I said, 2 races to go after this one. Algarve in 2 weeks' time. And then the following weekend, it is the Valencia Grand Prix. Diesel says, go Fab. Sergio Martin, I'm not sure. I do apologise. I can't read that. I take it that's in a different language. Andy Ward says, is Marquez binding his time, mate? Well, yeah, he'll definitely have a go. I think he knows he's got to deal with Bagnaia throughout the rest of this race, so he wants to do it at the right time. Fabio having to watch his back, though. He's got 2 riders right behind him. But Fabio is up to 5th as he has overtaken Alex Espargaro. He's 5th. With 8 laps to go. Can he go up 1 or 2 more places? He's got Oliveira, though, who's 8.4 tenths of a second ahead at the moment. So you do feel like that's a lot to ask between now and the end of this race with just 8 laps remaining. But who knows? Let's watch the replay of his overtake there. So he goes up against Alex Espargaro. Simple overtake down the straight at first, but then Espargaro got a booster, but then he went on the inside. Did he touch him? No, he didn't. It's nice, clean overtake in there from our championship leader. Ricardo Gordon saying, can't wait to reach home to watch back this classic from Fabio. And he also says, this is a very mature ride from Fabio. Romain Rattal says, we have 2 races in Algarve this season. One at the start of the year where he got his arm problem, and the next one. I didn't know that. I must have missed that. But meanwhile, Marquez still trying to hunt down Francesco. It's now 6.2 seconds behind between third and second. Now, from the top of my head, I might be completely wrong here, but yeah, I think Fabio still needs to at least get third, or actually maybe even second, to try and win the World Championship. But I don't think it's going to happen today. For any of you Fabio fans, I would hold off the champagne at least until the next race in 2 weeks' time on November 7th. Of course, this circuit is named after Marco Simicelli, of course, once a great young rider in MotoGP who sadly died in an accident while racing. A real shame. I can't believe, I think that was 10 years ago now. If I can remember correctly, it was in 2011. I can't believe it's been 10 years ago. But sadly, Simicelli no longer with us, but his name lives on this circuit. Come on, Marquez. Let's see a bit more attack from him to try and go and take this win off Bagnaia. I think Fabio and Yamaha are kind of supporting Marquez with this. You could say relying on him just to decrease the points gap. Because really, I think Fabio is done now. I think 5th place is probably the best he'll get. He'll keep fighting for 4th. But if you haven't yet, folks, do subscribe to the channel. Give us a like. And as you can see, there is a discount code that you're more than welcome to use on manscaped.com with the code Let's Talk Sport in capitals. 20% off everything, and that includes free shipping. So manscaped.com, you know what to do. Looks like Andy Ward's answered your question. To who was it who asked that? I can't remember who asked that question now. But it's a 1 hour time difference between here in England and Imola at least. So lap 22. 6 laps to go. 0.4 tenths of a second between the top two. Fabio, he is making moves to get that gap a little slimmer between Oliveira and himself, but 7.6 tenths of a second, that's still a lot to do with 6 laps to go. 4th is probably the best he can try and go for, but as I said, it's a lot to do. And in all fairness to Fabio, he started the race 15th. In the opening lap, he went down to 17th. And in that whole time, he's been able to get himself all the way up to 5th. So, in all fairness to him, in what is a short race, I always say they're short races in MotoGP. He's done very well to get him there, just to make sure that Bagnaia wasn't going to get a massive lead in the points. Well, sorry, from this race, not in the championship, but to make sure he doesn't decrease the gap too much. Ricardo Gordon says, Marquez don't want to win because Fabio is the new sensation, so that is going to away some of Marquez's fame. So him won't push to pass him, Francesco win. Romain Rattle says, my bad, I'm mistaken. The races he had his arm problem was in Jerez, not Algarve. He won at Algarve. Oh, okay. Yeah, Jerez I remember used to be one of the circuits that F1 used to do their pre-season testing at. It used to be the basic. They used to always use that circuit, but they never raced on it. They just used it as a place to test, which I always thought was odd. But they've moved on since. That was a few years ago now. Oh! Who's gone off? Bagnaia's gone off! And Francesco Bagnaia has crashed with 5 laps to go! And all of a sudden, I think, and yep, the Yamaha lot are celebrating. I mean, there's still 4 laps to go, but oh my word, that has completely changed things. And all of a sudden, I think Fabio Quintana, well, it gets him up to 4th. Bagnaia will be way out the points. Oh, it's 49. No, it's 55. Oh, no, that keeps changing. The live championship board, either way, it's going to be enough. So, all of a sudden, because of that crash, Quintaro will end up in third at the moment. I think we've lost someone else as well, haven't we? Because, wow. So, it looks like we will have a world champion today, as long as he just doesn't crash. 4 laps to go. Let's watch this now then. So, Bagnaia, of course, defending, and he just went off. Marc Marquez was nowhere near him, and he just goes right into the gravel trap. And oh dear, what an absolute heartbreaking moment. I mean, look, we knew he wasn't going to do it. It was a lot to ask for with 3 races to go, including this one today. But the Yamaha lot have just quickly kind of high-fived each other, but they know that there's still a few laps to go. But at the moment, it's quite nice to see the Ducati lot still hugging each other. I think they know it was always going to be a task, but they've given it a go. But at the moment, Fabio Quintaro will be a new world champion. 4 laps to go. What a dramatic! It was Oliveira as well. So Oliveira's gone off, and that's why Fabio went up to third. That makes sense. I was wondering how he got to third because he was in 5th when Bagnaia went off. But I can't believe it. I was wondering for a moment, was it a different Ducati? But then I remembered Jack Miller. Jack Miller went off early on in the race. But yeah, the Ducati lot, of course, have conceded. They know that they've lost the championship as long as Fabio brings it home in third. 25 laps. We've got 3 to go. He shouldn't have to really push it to the limit now. He knows he won't win the race from here. He just needs to bring the bike home and then he'll be fine. Let's read some of your comments. And yeah, a lot of you reacting to that incident just then. Ramon Rattle says, let's go with the French flag emoji. Alicia Hernandez says, Fabio. Eki Story says, champions 20. 20 the winner, they're saying. Tito K&L's got, looks like sad emojis there. Who do you support, Tito? Or was that those tears of joy? Diesel says, great ride from Paul also. So Marc Marquez looks like he's going to go and win this race now after being so patient watching Bagnaia on in this race. But yeah, I mean, fair play to Marc Marquez, as I think it was Andy Ward that was saying before. He's going to be biding his time, and he has, and the opportunity has come for him. But yeah, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Fabio has absolutely nailed it so far. He's done what was necessary. His championship rival couldn't handle the pressure at the end. And incredibly, he's going to be the world champion. And there was me saying that he will do it, no doubt, next time in Algarve in 2 weeks' time. But that will be done and dusted now. Of course, they still do, in case you're new to MotoGP, they will still, of course, do the rest of the races of the calendar. There's 2 races to go after this. They still race them even when a championship is decided, since there's other positions in the championship table. It's mad to think, though, that Marc Marquez in the championship is not even in the top 4 yet. In the last few months of this season, he's been up there fighting for these race wins. But you'd expect him to bring it home now, Marc Marquez. He's got an 8.5 second lead over Espargaro, and they've just shown footage now of a very heartbroken Bagnaia walking into the Ducati garage, and of course he's got all the marks on the back of his race suit of the gravel that he slid his bike into. All of them giving him a hug there. Obviously they're good for him. It happens, but as I said, I don't think there should be any real shame. He gave it a go. And he was doing well. He was doing well in this race. I think he would have won the race, but no. He couldn't hold on. Ahmed Mukhtar says, hello, brother. Hello. Diesel says, Honda is back. They certainly are at the moment. Romain Rattle says, Fabio on the podium to celebrate. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. If you're going to become a world champion, especially when it's your first time, you want it to be you want to at least be on the podium to celebrate that. And I can't imagine the tears, the emotions that Yamaha and Fabio are going to go through, because I'm sure the first time you win a World Championship, I'm sure that is probably the most joyful and wonderful experience. And to, drink it in, eat it in, you name it, it's going to be probably one hell of a party for Fabio tonight. And the fact that the next race is in 2 weeks' time in Algarve, I'm sure they will have a drink or two tonight before they pack up. We're on the last lap now, though. So currently Marc Marquez first, Espargaro second, and Fabio Quartararo in third. Oh, Fabio Quartararo has got a track limits warning from the race team, but that's because he's right. He has got someone right behind him, and it's Bastianini who's right behind him, trying to go for that third place. So, and he's overtaken him. But can Quintana... either way, they've got to go back to that in a minute. But Marc Marquez, he goes and stands on his bike and does this with his arms, flexes his muscles as he wins the Grand Prix. And Fabio will not celebrate on the podium. He's currently fourth, and I think he's really annoyed about that. He is. Fourth place for Fabio. Either way, he's a world champion, but he won't get to be on the podium. Either way, Francesco watches on, and now the camera's on the big man, Valentina Rossi, and he gets 10th. What a place that is for Valentina Rossi. When you look at the results he's had this season, he's had a pretty poor season in that bike of his. But sadly, for Fabio, he's really gutted, I think. I think he looks gutted, but maybe he's just got his emotions out and has got his tears out because he is now a world champion. He had to rely on Francesco to not finish, but either way, that's what happened. He got the points that were required today. He started 15th, was down to 17th on the opening lap, but then went up to 5th. Then the incidents of Oliveira and Bagnaia went off the circuit, and yeah, he ended up in 3rd, but on the last lap, on the last few corners, he ended up with Bastianini getting 3rd and spoiling the podium party for him at least. But the hashtag is up there, Al Diablo with 1 replacing the letter I, and the Yamaha team celebrating. But that is great to see. The Ducati team principal has gone in the Yamaha garage to congratulate them, and that's fantastic to see. Really, really good. But there you go. Fabio Quartararo is the first French MotoGP world champion. As you'd expect, some of the riders have gone to congratulate him while they ride out on the warm down lap. And it's nice to see some of the stewards and all that just getting the fans to make some noise, especially for Valentina Rossi. Rossi's bike's got a bit of smoke coming out there. Hopefully he's okay. But yeah, get in touch, folks, on our live chat page. What did you think? What a race. What a race. I thought it was done and dusted. But look at that. Yamaha's first World Championship in 6 years. 2015 was their last one. And I think that was Jorge Lorenzo who won it. He's actually at the race today. He's obviously not racing anymore in MotoGP. But he was on BT Sport ahead of this race. So he is there. So I'm sure he will go and celebrate. But of course, it's emotions all over the circuit today. Valentina Rossi's final home Grand Prix as he gets hugs around his fans and members of the race organisation and maybe members of his family as well, perhaps, and friends. While Fabio Quartararo celebrates his first World Championship. But a lot of people wearing these fluorescent kind of yellow-green hoodies with Rossi's famous logo of 46. I mean, just a thought. Will we ever see 46 used again in MotoGP? Could that be a retired number maybe because of it being the greatest rider to ever have that number? But at the moment, a lot of the Yamaha team members have got the World Champions t-shirts on already. So yeah, what a day for Fabio. Absolutely fantastic. I don't think he can believe it, especially when you look at those last few laps. Let's read some of your comments. Alicia Hernandez asking, show the celebration. I wished I could, but I can't because of copyright. We don't pay for the rights for that. Jose November saying, Champions Ride by Fabio. Yeah, I completely agree. It was definitely a championship ride, no doubt about that. Pathron says, Kota King is back. Amazing race for Marc Marquez. But in front of the Valentina Rossi fans, you could say, Fabio is waving at the fans, and they're just it's quite a nice touch to him. They're showing a big LED screen just showing his pretty much from day one, from when he was in Moto 3, Moto 2, and then obviously coming on to MotoGP to win the World Championship. And of course, as you'd expect, he is crying with joy. But yeah, he'll remember this day for the rest of his life. And as you can see, the two big words in capitals, World Champion. And who knows, could this be the first of many World Championships for the Frenchman? And of course, for Yamaha, it's been 6 years since they last won the World Championship, and they'll be absolutely delighted to be back at the top. Repsol Honda, though, they're celebrating with Marc Marquez in the pits. And it's all very dramatic now. Quintaro, he's got a golden helmet. He's picking up a golden helmet in front of the fans. I don't know if there's anything else on it. It says El Diablo with the number 1, with golden number 1. There's all sorts of graphics and stuff going on now. It's so random from the MotoGP feed. But now he's dancing. It's getting all a bit cheesy, to be honest with you. But either way, who cares? Lots of photographers around him and the cameraman. While the other two riders who finished on the podium are just doing what they normally do, which is park up the bike near the garages and talk to their teammates and crew before they go and get themselves interviewed and then go on to the podium. I think it'll be a while till we hear from Fabio. He's all over the circuit, flying the French flag. He's on his knees now. He's just waving to all the supporters, thanking them for the support. There is a massive blue flare, dark blue flare representing the colours of Yamaha. That's just gone off. But yeah, the atmosphere looks absolutely incredible out there today. What a race. But if you haven't yet, folks, and you love your MotoGP, Let's Talk Sport here on YouTube is the place to be. It's your support that keeps our channel going. So to do that, just simply click that subscribe button. And it's free to do so. You're not paying anything when you click that button. I always think the word subscribe means you have to pay a certain subscription to get the service. But no, if you are new to YouTube, it is free when you follow a channel. So we'd love it if you did, and we'd really appreciate it, as we're currently just on over 5,000 subscribers. We're trying to get ourselves on to 6. And we're currently on just over 5,280 subscribers. So thank you all. So it looks as though Valentina Rossi threw his helmet into the stands. And whoever got that, someone did catch it. And whoever got that, that'll be, oh, you'll keep that forever. In his final home Grand Prix. Great to see that from Rossi. It's mad how many fans he's got. He's got such a massive following. The biggest following in MotoGP. Maybe in motorsport in general. Andy Ward asks, so where is the next race? So the next race is on Sunday, November 7th. And that is for the Algarve Grand Prix. So that's 2 weeks today. And then the weekend after, on the 14th of November on a Sunday, that will be the Valencia Grand Prix. But we will do watch-alongs for them, but we know who our world champion is. It's Fabio Quintaro for the very first time. Let's try and hear Let's see if we can hear from the top riders anyway.
Second podium of his rookie season. Another fantastic ride and another podium at home. How do you feel?
Very strange because after the qualifying on yesterday, I think it's impossible to do same at race 1. But at the end, I push a lot in the last part of the race. And my paces was really nice, like the first Misano, and it's incredible. After I think it's crash Pecco, and from 5 I'm go in 4th place. And at the end I see Fabio very close. I think now you have to push over the limit, and the last lap stay incredible for me, and I'm arriving the 3rd position. It's a very strange podium for me.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
So yeah, Bastianini that got the the final place on the podium after taking over the world champion, or new world champion, just at the end there. It was on the last lap on turn 14 that he got that overtake at the end. So absolutely incredible. So what a ride for Bastianini. As the interviewer mentioned, of course, it's a home race for him. I'd imagine we'll hear from Marc Marquez in a bit. He might even congratulate Fabio in the interview. With Valentina Rossi still going around the circuit. It's getting claps around all of the racing stewards. Here we go then. Looks as though we'll hear from Espargaro now.
First podium for him in his first year with Repsol Honda.
Alberto told us yesterday that if it was dry, you were strong, and you showed it. Did you know you could do that going into the race?
Well, more or less I knew my pace coming from the test, but today the track was a little bit more tricky. I don't know, on the rear tire it didn't feel so good on the stopping, and I was struggling mostly part of the race, but then when I could overtake Miguel, I just put my rhythm. Luckily I lose Bagnaia and Mark so early in the race, and I couldn't follow them, and then I was completely alone, in between them and Miguel, but I was keep doing my rhythm comfortably, and then by the tension I started to have pam. When I saw that it was 7-8 laps remaining by the end, and I was in that podium, I was so much on tension, and I couldn't even brake, and I was just wanted to finish the race in that position. So super pleased, super happy for the team, P1 and P2. That's amazing, but especially Takeo, all the crew that has been working huge to make that possible. I'm happy for me, but more happy for them.
Great job, Paul.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So yeah, I didn't know that. It's Paul Espargaro's first ever podium. And of course, this is his debut season in MotoGP, so you'll remember that as well. So all sorts of memorable stories from today. Valentina Rossi in his final home Grand Prix, Fabio winning his first World Championship, and Espargaro getting his first ever podium. And actually, he's put on the golden helmet now, and that's good to see. Bagnaia going up to Fabio to congratulate him. So, of course, that's Bagnaia will be absolutely gutted that he couldn't keep it going for another race, at least in this championship. But it was him who went off the circuit. No one pushed him off. No one forced him off. It was simply a mistake by himself, and because of that, he has sadly lost the World Championship today and wasn't able to extend the battle until Algarve in 2 weeks' time. Fabio has finally returned back to the pit lane. He's going past everyone, all the mechanics from all the teams, giving him a pat on the back to congratulate him. He does park up the bike. I wonder if we'll maybe actually hear from him just before we finish this watch along. If we do, we'll make sure we get it on. But yes, the flares are up, ribbons everywhere. It's going to be a bit of a mess for the cleaners to clean up later on, but right now it's all about Fabio. He's wearing that golden helmet, and it says on the back of his helmet in gold lettering, World Champion 2021. He can't believe it. He's off his bike and he's still got emotions all over the place. As I said, it's some day for him. Bagnaia's just hugging Valentina Rossi. But before we finish, we'll see if we can get words from Fabio. His first reaction to becoming a world champion for the first time. Andy Ward says, "Thank you for the stream. next race. Happy times. Thanks, everybody. Take care. You take care as well, Andy. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't yet, do subscribe. We got Knight OW1 saying Fabio from the Philippines. And we got By Morny Kessie saying brilliant. Valentina Rossi P10. Grazie Valentino. Yeah, again, another story as well. Fantastic to see. Yeah, nice to see Bagni and Fabio celebrating. Congratulating him, but well, I'm not sure what's going to happen now. I imagine Fabio will get words, even though he didn't get the podium. He had to jump over the wall to just celebrate with his team there. Nice to see Bastianini as well. Hug him and congratulate him as he's drinking a can of Red Bull. I love it how they all drink Red Bull after the race. I'm sure it takes a lot of energy out of them from the race, as in their race performance, but then Red Bull energy must actually really help them get through it after a race. And Espargaro congratulating him as well, who finished second, runners up to his teammate Marc Marquez today. And now Marc Marquez finally sees him and congratulates him. Marc Marquez has won enough World Championships to know what it's like, especially when he won it for the first time 8 years ago in 2013. So, as I said, I think we might hear from Marc Marquez before we hear from Fabio. Yeah, it looks like he's getting ready for the interview. So I'll just move my mic and let's hear what Marc Marquez has to say. Well, as I say that, they're just showing the Bagnier incident again, which was on turn 15. Oh, it's just out of nowhere, isn't it? That's the horrible thing about MotoGP. You can have a great race and then just all of a sudden, that's it, you're off, you're done. Oh, he was leading the race as well, Bagnier. That will absolutely... He'll watch that back, I'm sure, but it might be too ugly for him to watch back as well. And here we go, here's Marc Marquez.
Meanwhile, back-to-back wins for Marc Marquez in MotoGP. You have to say, he is back.
Mark, yes, Pecco fell off, but to keep the pressure on him here, where he's so brilliantly fast at a track that's not left hands, I think it's my favourite ride of yours of the year. What do you think of it?
It's the most important of the year, this one. Winning a right corner circuit was the corners and the circuits that I struggled a lot this year, and still I'm struggling a bit, but it's the progress, it's the evolution, and it's something special. It's something that will give to me a lot of confidence for these next two races, but especially for the winter time, to be more calm, to be patient, and yeah, with the time, everything is going in a good way. So this is the most important. Today the pace was unreal on the race. Pecco was riding super fast. When I saw the 32 low, I don't know how I was able to stay there. But in the lap when I give up, because I saw that he was extremely fast on that lap, then he crashed. It's true that I was putting pressure to him, but Pecco was the fastest rider on the track today. Apart of that, today is not my day, it's the day of Fabio. I want to congratulate him. He deserves, he did an incredible season, an incredible job. So congrats Fabio, Yamaha team, and yeah, we will try to put some difficulties next year to hit.
Impressive, Mark. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Bye, bye, bye.
So yeah, he's clearly delighted with his race performance, Marc Marquez. I agree with what that commentator said. He is back. And I think, as he said, he would love to finish on a high with the final two races to give him that confidence going into winter and, of course, the new year. So well done to Marc Marquez winning today's race. But the main headline is the fact that Fabio Quartararo is a world champion for the very first time. He won today after Bagnier went off at the very last few laps while leading the race, and it was enough points by finishing fourth for Fabio to win his first World Championship. And I think we're pretty much going to wrap it up there. So let's go through the leaderboard one last time before we finish the stream today. So Marc Marquez winning the race in first. His teammate Espargaro getting his first ever podium in MotoGP in his debut season for Repsol Honda in second. Bastianini pipping Fabio to the final podium spot on the final lap. Fabio Quartararo in fourth, enough for him to win himself a World Championship and for Yamaha. Zarco in fifth for Pramac Racing. Rins in sixth. The other Espargaro from Aprilia Racing Team in seventh. Finillas eighth. Marini ninth. And Valentina Rossi in his final home race in his MotoGP career before he retires at the end of the season gets 10th, which is a great race for Rossi when you compare the results that he's had this season. Brad Binder 11th, Paro 12th, Dovizioso 13th, Morbidelli 14th, and 15th for Nakagami, which proves to be the last place because we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've had 8 retirements, including Francesco Bagnaia. So a lot of DNFs for our riders today in the MotoGP. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank you all very much for watching our MotoGP stream. Actually, before we go, let's hear from Fabio.
Can't believe it.
Yep, he's gone.
It's amazing, and later maybe I could talk a little bit more, but right now I'm living the dream, and feels good to have also my family with me, and we will enjoy a lot during tonight and until the end of the season.
Massive congratulations.
Thank you.
So yeah, not much words from Fabio, but who can you blame him? He's got a lot to process in his head that he is the best in the world in MotoGP and in motorbike racing. But anyway, as I said before, thanks very much for following us and watching us today. If you want to support us, give us a like towards the stream, click that subscribe button, and of course don't forget, if you enjoy shopping on Manscaped, we do have a special offer for you right now. All the details are in the description and on the screen right here. It's 20% off everything in the shop. So that's manscaped.com and use the code Let's Talk Sport, all of it in capitals. And yeah, be sure to use that. And it's free shipping as well with manscaped.com. So be sure to check that out. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and we will see you very soon here on Let's Talk Sport. Goodbye for now.
This stream is sponsored by Manscaped. Hey you. Yes, you. Have you lost all your confidence when shaving below the waist? Would you like a sleek, well-designed trimmer so you can shave with ease? Well, look no further. Let's talk Manscaped. Let's Talk Sport have teamed up with Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, to give you an exclusive offer of 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code Let's Talk Sport. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also gives you the ability to turn on the 4000K LED spotlight when needed for a more precise shave. Visit manscaped.com and use the code Let's Talk Sport for 20% off plus free shipping for a helping hand job done. This product has been tried and tested by Cara and the LTS team. We thoroughly recommend for the best smooth shaving experience below the waist. Visit manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping by using the code Let's Talk Sport. Manscaped, your balls will thank you.